If you're from Instagram, you might be wondering, what the fuck happened, Hideki? Well, this video, I'm gonna be talking about what the hell happened. And if you're new here, I'm just gonna be telling you guys a story that you wouldn't believe. And this is gonna be as raw as possible, no edits. Probably just gonna put a background song, I don't know. But I don't even know how long this video is gonna be, probably 30 minutes. So sit back, relax, and enjoy, because this is gonna be the story of how I almost died. Long story short, I got in a psychosis from drugs. And yeah, I almost felt like overdosing. We probably almost overdosed. I don't know if you can even overdose, but basically, my friend and I'm gonna call him Mr. Blue just for the sake of his protection. I'm gonna call him Mr. Blue. So Mr. Blue and I decided to take LSD, which is a very powerful drug, psychedelics. I'm gonna let you guys chat GPT it if you don't know what it is. I took 170 to 200 micrograms, and this motherfucker took 300. So I'm gonna I'm gonna let you guys AI that shit or research what that means, because y'all couldn't even imagine what we saw. But anyway, so I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna tell you guys what happened, chronological order. This is gonna be a trip. I don't even know where to start. So we decided to trip in his house, and it was 9 a.m. First thing in the morning, and we decided to take LSD. And honestly, this is not my first time taking it, and my last trips were actually amazing, but this was probably the worst one, and this is probably the worst thing that could happen to someone tripping. I know y'all did not expect me to be taking some drugs and all that shit. I don't even smoke cigarettes. So I've tried weed like 4 or 5 times in my life. And yeah, I just decided to go berserk, because LSD is a pretty creative drug. It's not a hard drug. It won't even kill you unless you start doing some crazy shit that we almost did. Actually, we did. But yeah, so we took LSD in his house. This motherfucker lives in the suburb of Paris. So in the middle of nowhere. It's called Orly, I think. I don't know what the hell there is in Orly. So we took it in his house. It's just me and him in a big ass house. Honestly, the beginning for me, it was a euphoria. It was a euphoric trip. I was fucking vibing to Billie Eilish. I was high on listening to Coldplay. It was actually beautiful. I was having tears of joy. Beatles, Pink Floyd, all that crazy shit. I started having spiritual thoughts about life, and it was honestly therapeutic for me. It felt like meditation and all that. It was really inspiring, because LSD shows you things that you're supposed to see in your deep subconscious thoughts. Like, whatever you're thinking, you can't really hide from the truth. It literally shows you what you should feel. So if you're in a good mindset, it's gonna be heaven. But if you're in a bad mindset, like my motherfucking friend Mr. Blue, well, it can go downhill from there. And not to mention the fact that he took 300, which is like crazy. So little did I know that Mr. Blue had not really a depression, but he had depressing thoughts in his head. And he warned me about this, but he literally told me that he can control it. Fast forward to 5-6 hours later, and we're in the emergency room. Anyway, so the trip was going well. The problem with LSD is it takes 8 to 12 hours. It lasts 8 to 12 hours, and it hits you at the first hour. So, and there's this peak phase where it's just super powerful, and you can't do anything about it for like 2 to 6 hours. So you can peak for 2 to 6 hours. And basically, yeah, everything was going well until Mr. Blue lost control. And when he lost control, all hell broke loose. This was honestly the scariest part of the trip, but also / the funniest, because this motherfucker decided to go jogging, to go for a run. Did he go for a run? Hell yes. But did he manage to be successful in that run? Hell no. Because you know what he did? He started approaching people and asking them to save me. He literally approached a random guy, probably going to work or going home from work, and he like was holding him and saying, "Save me, help!" Because he thought he was gonna be stuck in the trip forever. And that affected me, obviously. Like I was vibing to Off Monsters and Men, Billie Eilish, Tiny Desk, Fred again, and this motherfucker loses control, and obviously that affects me. And so I thought that I was gonna be stuck as well. I thought he bought this from Temu or some bad source from Zimbabwe or some shit, that we got scammed and it was poison and that we would die. That was what I was thinking. And that's probably what he thought too, because he was like, this is not normal. Fucking yeah, we both had a psychotic attack. And so fast forward later, he called a friend. I'm gonna call him H for his name privacy. He calls H, and H literally has work, and he skips it for us to save us, because we thought we were gonna die. So shout out to H, because we really deserve that. That guy really deserves like fucking lunch. I'm gonna buy him a drink because he literally saved us, technically. And so H calls the ambulance. He dials 911, pompier in French. But he thought that Mr. Blue was alone. He didn't know I was there. So what he did is he called the ambulance, the paramedics, to our house, which I was alone because Mr. Blue went for a run like an idiot. And fast forward to I don't know how many hours. I think it was around 11:30, 12. Yeah, this was like 2 hours in the trip, because we started at 9. So, and it hit me at like 10, so like an hour later. Fast forward later, I hear a fucking door slam, like dug, 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 some knocks and shit. And it wasn't Mr. Blue. It was a deep French voice. I peek through the window. I see a fucking ambulance truck in front of the gate. And I see, and I kid you not, I see 2, 3, 6 foot Frenchmen, as if it was the fucking Olympics, jumping over the gate. Like they were trying to break in. This was the paramedics. And I hear under dug dug dug, and I was like, all right, I'm fucked. I'm going to jail. I'm cooked. We're doomed. We're screwed. My future's done. I open it, obviously, and I see a bald ass man that looks like Lex Luthor. Fucking 6'5" or some shit. And he's there and he's like, bonjour. And I'm like, what the fuck? Because I experienced ego death, by the way, which I didn't tell y'all. And I didn't know who the fuck I was. I didn't even know what language to speak. I was speaking English to them. They did not speak English. So they were asking me, they were like, vous êtes tout seul? Blah, 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 blah. Like, vous avez appelé? Like, did you call? And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? And so they were guiding me and shit. They were like telling me to sit on the couch, and there's like 6, 7 people, paramedics in front of me, and they were like giving me some tests. They were asking me so many questions, and I was like lost, and that was when they saw that I was obviously influenced by drugs, intoxicated. They were like opening my pupils and shit, and they were dilated as fuck. And they were like, all right, we're gonna send this guy in the fucking ambulance. I mean, in the emergency. And I was like, j'ai un ami, like, I have a friend. And they were like, who's the friend? Who's the friend? I was like, the owner of the house. And I was saying it in English. For some reason, they understood. And I kid you not, this was one of the funniest parts. They were like, ah, peut-être c'est l'autre Asiate là qu'ils ont trouvé à la rue. They found my friend lying on the ground in the middle of the street. Like, and guess what? That was actually Mr. Blue. That was my friend. And they sent that guy already in the emergency. He was first in the emergency. And I was like, what the fuck? And I kid you not, when they put me in the ambulance, for some reason I snapped back into reality, and I was like, what the fuck? And I was like vibing with the paramedics. They were like laughing and shit, and I was asking them deep questions because, you know, I was influenced by LSD. I was like, c'est quoi la richesse pour vous les gars? Oh, c'est quoi l'importance de la vie? C'est quoi tous ces merdes? I was like telling them basically like, what is the purpose of life? Like, I was like asking them deep questions, and they were actually answering it. Like, it was amazing. It was one of the funniest, wholesome moments during that day. And not to mention the fact that I was high as fuck. This was during my peak. So imagine just laying down in an ambulance and you don't even know where they're taking you. It's like I got kidnapped, but at the same time, like, I was just vibing because there was a view in the ambulance of the, like, out the window, and I had my fucking earphones on. For some reason, they just kept it. I was listening to some fucking Moby Porcelain, and it was one of the best moments of my life, bro. Like, that shit was beautiful. Like, because I was high, and the scenery that I saw was like patterns and shit, like the clouds just vibing and shit. It was so hilarious, you know. And so fast forward later, I meet up with Mr. Blue at the hospital. It was the funniest shit ever because we were both like stabbed by the needle, injected, dextrosed, because they gave us like trip killers. And at the hospital, I met so many people. Like, I was, for some reason, and a lot of people maybe know this about me, but I'm a very sociable person. And the thing with LSD is it amplifies all your emotions. So if you're an introvert, well, there's a high chance that, you know, you're gonna be super shy. But as an extrovert, I was amplified by the fucking acid, and so I was literally talking to everyone with like 100% confidence, bro. I was like, holy shit, man. I was literally approaching doctors saying they were beautiful, because they were actually, I don't know if I remember their faces very well, but I pretty much saw like 10 beautiful women there, and I'm like, what the fuck? And and I was approaching families and shit, and they were there in the waiting room, like, I don't know if they were terrified of me, because I was tweaking, bro. I was like a crackhead. And I met this family from Tunisia. I met this uncle, I called him Baba. His name is Mohammed. I even filmed him on Instagram, and I was like, he was just like my dad, you know. And then he was giving me life advice, saying, why did I take it? And I told him I took LSD and shit. And he was like scolding me, but like in a really nice way. And I was listening as if he was like my real dad. And he actually reminded me of my dad, you know. And I was saying things like, just appreciated all his advice, you know. I'm not gonna go deeper into everything because I'm gonna try to finish this video in like 30 minutes max, because my phone's gonna die. But basically, I met so many people. I met this I don't know if they were a couple from Romania, and I was like, are you guys Romanian? And they spoke English, and I was like I was just approaching everyone, and they were like, yes, Romanian. And then we were like vibing and shit. I said like 2-3 words, and they were smiling. I said Bună se faci, and they laughed like crazy. And you know, I told them I was on LSD again. It was amazing, you know. And then at some point we were talking about France and how she didn't want to be here. She was like, I don't like here. And some part of me, you know, I kind of want to move out of this country too, because I don't feel like I belong here as well. But just in that small interaction, I felt like we both, I felt like an empathy towards her, like we both feel like we don't belong in the same country. And she wasn't even drugged and all that. I don't know if she was drugged, honestly. I don't know why she was in the emergency. And I was like telling her everything, and she was like, trying to comfort me and all that. And then she had a beautiful friend that came over, and I was like, I want to go to Romania. And she was like, why? I was like, beautiful woman. And then they fucking laughed again, bro. I was rizzing nonstop. I don't know for some reason why I was fucking confident, but it is just what it is. But I LSD from 2 days ago. That was 2 days ago. That trip taught me a lot of things in life, and I'm gonna tell you guys everything that it taught me later, towards the end of the video. But yeah, that was the whole experience. And then we met this beautiful, just human being, Portuguese woman. She was a sous chef, like almost next to the head chef. And for some reason, I feel like she also took LSD back then, because she was so understanding. She was telling us, guys, life is precious. Don't waste it on doing dumb shit. This is good that you experienced it as young human beings, because we all make mistakes. And she was like giving us life lessons too. Like, she told us, like, pursue what you actually want to do, because she was in coding, and then she quit it because, like, it didn't felt like it served purpose to her, and that's why she became a chef. And I'm like, wow, what the hell is happening? Am I in a movie right now? Like, everything just made sense. Everything just made sense, and it was beautiful. And fast forward to 5-6 hours later, because this was apparently the worst urgence in France. Yes, it took us like 6 hours, and I was tripping balls, and I thought I was in a mental asylum. I think I fucking heard Mr. Blue shout, like, get me out of here! And we were all like fucking tweaking. Until the trip killers started to take effect, and we were starting to calm down. And guess what? They actually let us out alone, just like that, while we were still high. Because even if the trip killers were there, it just lessens the effect, but the effect is still there. And I was tripping for 15 hours, guys. And so yeah, we were trying to get back home to Mr. Blue's house, because I left all my shit there, left my laptop and all that. And I was listening to music the whole time, and I tell you, I could not, like, this shit felt like a movie, bro. Like, I was listening to David Bowie, Starman, while we were running in the middle of the road, trying to cross from the street on a highway, high on LSD. Like, we were trying to find the piéton, and there was not any pedestrian lane, guys. Like, it was fucking amazing, but scary. And this was one of the moments that made me feel alive, because I'm 24 and I shouldn't be doing some dumb shit, but at the same time, this is probably the beauty of life, just doing some dumb shit sometimes and learning from it. And obviously, like, what we did was very irresponsible. We could have fucking harmed people. I mean, I don't think we would have harmed people. Would have harmed ourselves, though, because we almost literally died. We almost got ran over. We almost harassed people. I mean, fucking Mr. Blue was doing this shit to a random stranger. I was chill. But what I'm just saying is that I'm not recommending LSD, but it showed me so many things that day that probably changed me as a person now. And I don't think I can ever see the world the same anymore, in a good way. I'm gonna go skip a bit of the story, because this is gonna be a long ass video, and some of y'all people are not even watching anymore, probably got out of the video from 5 minutes since the video began, or maybe even just 1 minute. I know I'm pretty bad at fucking storytelling, but this is just me trying to get this shit out of my chest, because I think it's a beautiful story that needs to be shared. Even if just one person listens, that would be like really amazing for me. But I don't really mind if people don't watch it. But anyway, I fast forward to the end of the day. We all split now. Mr. Blue and I decided to eat with H, because H was fucking hungry. I mean, imagine this guy started his day early in the morning, did not eat the whole day, stayed with us in the urgence, in the emergency, just fucking helping us. Like, bro, he deserves a lot, and we actually paid a meal. We ate some Asian food while we were fucking high on acid. We could barely eat. I ordered a pho for $13, and I could barely eat it. I was like, I just drank the soup out of it, and fucking H finished it. But the point I'm making is that when we split, it just felt like a movie. And by the way, I went home straight to my parents because I live with them. And could you imagine going through all that shit, almost dying, meeting the urgence, emergency, just getting injected some fucking medicine or whatever, going through all that hell, almost feel like dying, and then go back to your parents like nothing happened? They don't even know this shit. Like, it's like a fucking movie. It's like a dream that didn't even exist. It was like a vivid dream, but everything was reality. And honestly, nothing can top this moment. I mean, obviously I have so many beautiful moments in my life, but this is one of the craziest memories ever. And I'm always gonna, this is why I'm filming it, because I feel like it's so special to me that I'm gonna be remembering it till I'm fucking 80. Just the feeling of dying at a time that you're not ready to die yet. Because I kid you not, I can't really explain in a video how I truly felt, but I died for some reason. Because it was the same experience as when I had my first car accident. I mean, my second, third car accident. But I swear to God, I don't know, but I think I died. My ego died. I had an ego death. I'm gonna let you guys search what ego death is. But it was just fucking amazing. And I'm 22 minutes in. I'm gonna make this a 30-minute video just cause. But I want to elaborate on everything LSD showed me and that I learned. And I want you guys to learn from these lessons, because I really don't recommend you guys the drug. It's not necessary, but for me, everything that happened, I feel like I needed it. And honestly, I just feel like I'm a better person now. I'm like fully locked in on what actually matters. And if I can ask, what the fuck am I saying? If I had to ask LSD and it showed me what truly matters in life, it showed me that everyone has their own struggles. We're all fucking struggling. It don't matter who or where they're from, but everyone's just doing their best. But at the same time, nothing really matters, bro. Like, all this material shit, the fuck does this have to do? Like, you know, this fucking leather jacket is beautiful, right? It makes me look cool, but at the end of the day, bro, like, all of this is just for living the present moment. I don't know if I'm making sense right now. I can't really explain it, but when I had hallucinations, and I had non-stop hallucinations, and I could tell you guys countless hallucinations that I've seen, but when I saw particularly the hallucination about my family and my loved ones, and the fact that if I died, they would be so broken, at least my parents, but that I haven't really accomplished anything yet in life. From now on, I just want to make them proud, bro. Like, and even love itself, I felt the tremendous amount of love from strangers that day. I don't know why everybody was so nice that day, authentic, and it just made me want to just lock in and meet someone that I could really trust. Maybe because I saw couples that day, like fucking Baba and Muhammad was with his wife, and the Romanian girl with his boyfriend, I think. And something just struck, something struck inside of me. And I can't even look at women the same anymore. Like, I used to just look at them with lust. and you know, when I get horny because of my hormones and shit. But now I think I just want to be loved, man. And now I think I just want to feel that love. And I know I can't force people or like girls to like love me for who I am. But if that day comes, I just hope that I find someone that I could trust and give my feelings to, and love her unconditionally for who she is, and not just an idealization of what I think of her. And I don't know if I'm trying to make sense right now, but that was one of the things that LSD showed me. And the other one was like about family and how my parents struggles and all that. And I'm like, from now on, bro, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna be financially stable to the point where I'm gonna treat my parents everything that they deserve. And I'm gonna fucking do whatever it takes, in obviously in the moral good way, for them to live a happy life before they're gone, you know. And honestly, like, LSD just showed me to like just fucking live in the present moment, bro, forever. And obviously I know that's hard. You can't really, like, I'm obviously gonna forget about this feeling of just being grateful forever, you know. You can't be happy every single day. But I think I finally found this magic, this secret ingredient, this power of just enjoying every single moment, even if it's boring, even if it sucks, even if you have a bad day. See the beauty within it, you know. And I could tell you guys a million stories about that particular trip, but could you imagine I lived a day like a movie, and I lived it as if it was years, bro. Like, because everything was from my subconscious mind, and so everything that I learned in life in general, or everything that I believed in, was just shown to me in a span of 15 hours of that trip. And maybe now I understand why they call it a trip, because I literally had the trip of a lifetime. And I know you guys are thinking I might sound like a hippie right now, and it does sound fucking crazy, I'm not gonna lie. But this drug is so powerful that it just shows you the things that you need to see for you to be a better person. I personally think LSD shouldn't be illegal, but the world will be a much better place if it wasn't. But there are evil people in this world, and so with an evil mindset, LSD could be quite dangerous. And now I know why it's fucking illegal too. But honestly, you guys are not gonna believe anything that I'd say, and that's why I'm gonna entitle that video this. But if there's one last thing I could say before I end this video in like 2 minutes, do whatever it takes for you to live a life that you're proud of, because death is always going to be staring at you, and you think you're going to be ready, but you're never going to be ready. And so how do you go through that? How do you go against that? Well, you just live your life every single day, and you live in the present moment, you know. But you also focus on the things that matter, and things that truly matter, I believe, are just you and your loved ones, man. Everyone that love you in life, just take care of them, but also take care of yourself, because all you can control is you, you know. You're gonna meet a lot of people in your life, people come and go, but you just gotta hold the ones that will be there for you until death. Yeah, it's a beautiful trip, man. I'm not gonna lie. None of you are gonna believe this story that I'm telling you, but everything that I saw was vividly true. It felt like a dream, but it was reality. And so, yeah, take care of yourselves. Love yourselves. Everything else is just secondary, a distraction. but the true thing that matters is you and your loved ones. Thanks for listening.